What's going on, guys? No, just checking in. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 New Year's resolutions for people that battle depression. This can apply to really any mood disorder or anyone, even if you don't battle depression. But because I am a depression survivor and someone who still battles mood issues, I really thought this might be a pertinent video to make. Now, 2015 may have been a really good year for you, but it also may have been a really rough, tumultuous year for you. And I really want to make this video for the person who is creeping into 2016 and maybe desperate for some sense of what they can do to affect some positive change in their lives. It's definitely something I have to remind myself to do every single day. I think all of us should. But it can be really difficult when you battle depression. You know, your perception of the world, your perception of yourself, it's very skewed when you're depressed. Some people get really weird about New Year's resolutions. Anything that gets people reflecting on what they can do differently to maybe impact their life in a positive way, I can only see potential good from that. All that being said, I'm going to leave out some of the more obvious New Year's resolutions. Everybody should exercise. Everybody should try to eat healthier. We're not going to talk about those things. Those are things we should all be working on all the time because it's just really powerful in the implications that there are there with mood. Number 1, I think everyone should be taking vitamin D. I live in the Pacific Northwest in the USA. We don't get enough sun here, and vitamin D deficiency is something that plagues people in this part of the world, but I imagine that's just something that plagues a lot of people, period. You don't get enough sunshine. A lot of us are indoors. We live sedentary lifestyles. Low vitamin D can manifest itself in the form of depression. Do research. The amount of peer-reviewed and really clinical research on vitamin D deficiency, it's tremendous. You can find stuff all over the web. Look it up, learn about it, and either get more sunshine in your life, or if you're like me and you live in the Pacific Northwest or a climate that doesn't have a ton of sunshine, find a vitamin D supplement that you feel comfortable with. I really like Thorne. I take 5,000 IUs a day. Consult a physician when it comes to how much you should take, but understand that vitamin D is a really simple and positive way that you can start your new year and work that into your daily routine. It's not an expensive vitamin. I think technically it's a hormone. Number 2, start a gratitude journal. The reason it's so incredibly important for you and for me and for anyone really, but especially those that struggle with mood disorders, to start a gratitude journal is because we, by default, we scan the world for negative. We're depressed. We're anxious. We have hopeless thoughts, morose thoughts. We're very melancholy people. We kind of forget to scan the world for positive, and what a gratitude journal does, just by default, is it forces you. It forces you to look for something positive in your day. Now, I'm not saying you have to write like a paragraph or make it this big, long-winded, and stressful effort, but if you could just write down 5 things, bullet format, 5 simple things that you're grateful for, whether it be, I'm grateful for fresh air today, I'm grateful for the blanket that kept me warm, I'm grateful for a glass of water. I don't care how small and irrelevant it might seem, it will get your body, or your brain rather, to start scanning the world for positive. And trust me, if you deal with depression like I do, you could use the boost. You could use the structured time to not be such a dark thinking negative person, because that's what we do as depressed people. We don't think clearly about many things, and we forget that while we do feel miserable, or while we struggle to care or to be motivated or inspired or whatever, there are good things going on that if we can start scanning the world for, they'll become second nature. We'll start noticing them more, and they absolutely can impact your mood. It sounds corny, but it's a real thing. So if you're desperate enough, I suggest you try it. Number 3, drink water. And being hydrated benefits everyone's cognitive function, but when you're depressed, when you struggle with depression, these little things you don't deal with as well. So what I do every single day is I wake up and I drink a glass of water. It's literally the first thing I do every single day. It'll really take the place of a lot of coffee that a lot of us do to try to get going. It's good for the brain. It's good for your digestion. It just wakes you the fuck up. And let go of what you want to do. This is something you need to do. Number 4. Now this one might sound kind of silly, but I want you to hear me out. I want you to try to accomplish a goal every single day, and it doesn't matter if it's a big goal or a small goal. As depressed people, most of us universally feel hopeless and worthless, and accomplishing goals doesn't really feel like something we're capable of. We have poor self-esteem, poor self-image, and a lot of us don't have any drive or motivation. We're depressed. We see the world through cloudy goggles. So by setting small goals up and accomplishing them, you start to build credibility within yourself that even though you don't feel good, you can still get some shit done. It can be something really small and tangible, like say today I'm gonna do the dishes, and then do the dishes, boom. You set a goal, you accomplished it. And then crawl your depressed ass back in bed if you need to, but at least you did that. Wake up and say, today I'm going to call a friend and ask how they're doing. Today I'm going to make my bed. If you start to feel a little bit better, today I'm going to go put out a job application if maybe you're looking for work. Today I'm going to exercise. Today I am just going to brush my teeth. You see what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, like, when I bring this up to people in person, they're like, oh, that's silly, that's stupid. Look, you have to redefine what success means to you also when you're depressed. It's a whole different video. I've kind of touched on that in the past, but you can be successful in small ways and build up to larger successes. But not trying is not an excuse just because you're depressed. You can't wait to want to do something, so set a small goal and prove to yourself that you can. Build some credibility with yourself that even though you don't feel well, you're still capable of doing something. Self-esteem is a really valuable commodity that many of us are in great deficiency of when we're depressed. So make good on that. You can do it. Number five really depends on a few factors, but if you can, if you are physically or monetarily able to, I want you to find a mental health provider. I want you to swallow your pride. I want you to let go of your ego. I want you to let go of whatever it is tells you you don't need to talk to someone. And this potential goal, right, for 2016, this is not like find someone to give you medicine. I'm not trying to push psych meds on you. A lot of us try to do it on our own. And it's just like the most ridiculous fucking thing if you think about it. Like, your own thinking probably got you to where you are right now. You ever heard that? Like, your best thinking got you here? So if you're in a rut, if you're depressed, if you're hopeless, if you're an addict, if you're whatever, if shit's not going well, you should probably have a mental health provider. Just someone you can build a rapport with, who can work with you. It can be a social worker, it can be a psychiatrist, it can be a therapist, it can be a counselor, whatever, but someone who can help guide you through some of the trappings of depression, and you can help maybe unravel some of your own misnomers and misconceptions about yourself and what you need to do to get better. It's not a sign of weakness. In fact, finding a mental health provider, if you have access, is probably one of the bravest, strongest things you can do. It's you letting go of control. It's you being like, I need help. Just the act of doing it speaks volumes for your potential to recover. The chances of recovering without it go down. I'm not saying they're impossible, but they go down. Even if it's once a month, it makes a difference. You probably can't save you. And that's something that a lot of us have a hard time accepting. So find a mental health provider. You know, it's weird. It's like, it seems taboo to have someone who's like in our corner and is a professional. Yet we've got like, most of us have a dentist, if you have dental insurance or whatever, but most of us have a dentist we go to, right? Or we have a primary care doctor that we go to. We have all these like healthcare fields that watch over us on a pretty standard level, but we don't have a mental health provider, even though depression kills more people every year than breast cancer. No disrespect to anyone battling breast cancer. So I hope you found some of these tips useful, some of these 5 New Year's resolutions applicable to you. I hope you know that they come from a really humble place. I'm certainly not talking down to you. These are all things I want to work on this year, among other things. I just wanted to share them with you in case you needed some help getting the wheels turning. These are simple things that you can do that can make a positive impact. To what end, who knows? But no action leads to nothing, right? You have to do something to get somewhere, and you're hurting and you're suffering, and these are some simple tips that might help you, and I certainly hope they do. And let me know in the comments below, by the way, what other resolutions might be good for people that battle mood disorders. So let's teamwork this bitch like we normally do. Let's help each other, let's be good to each other, and I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next video.